my heater on because I get freaking cold at night. Alright. Okay, testing. Okay, we're good. I can hear myself. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna get ready in a second. So, ladies and gentlemen of the live stream, I have some very bad news. I have chicken in the oven, and I need to go get it in a half an hour or so from now. I'm so hungry. So hungry. I'm so hungry. I got chicken in the oven. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to episode 4. The adventurer of the clouded kokoro, which the kokoro means heart in Japanese, if I could recall. But yeah, so last time we did a live stream, we finished up, and Nath is like, no, stop. Don't you dare take my deadpan expressions and use that for your live stream. Go ahead. Alright, so, in the last live stream, we finished up the trial. We got a not guilty, but at the cost of somehow the evidence being tampered with. This game is boring. Boring? What is boring? Unless, of course, you mean boring, of course, obviously. Episode 4! The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to the story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back. Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
So a murder is afoot on... I wouldn't say broad daylight, but that would be plain stupid. It's actually under dead of night. 19th of February, 9:47 a.m. British Supreme Court Lord Chief Justice Office. So, in the previous live stream, we got a not guilty verdict, which means we passed Maelstrom's test. So that should mean we can become lawyers in Britain. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhado? No, not at all. Watashimo, which means me too in Japanese. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, it felt like we're staying in a palace. And with all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day even in the middle of the night. Gas lights. It almost sounds like a verb, like gaslighting. What about the enormous beds? After my time in the SS Beria, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I don't know how that works, but okay. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. Oh yes, it really was a sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, you did. When I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Oops! Sorry about that. The building was so impressive, and the entrance was so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. I really am sorry. Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. London is a scary place.
Ah, good morning to you at this early hour.
I'm here. Hi here. Ah, yes, we're, well...
I turn my head to you.
Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. I hope who laid again tomorrow is Saturday, so we'll play all day. Well, technically, I do have work all day. But I am off on Sunday and Monday. I actually have 2 days off. This Sunday and the Monday afterwards. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Just as our Santa is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. Wait, that was Strongheart? I thought it was Maelstrom.
Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices.
Why you ain't available on Saturday? Because I have work on Saturday. I have to work tomorrow. Because I have to pay bills. Bill! Oh, yes, it was very eye-opening. Thank you, even though his eyes were half shut. What work? Dishwashing. It's the only way I can pay the bills and keep a roof over my head. And get all these upgrades that you see here on my desk and possibly under my desk. Because I did order something that'll, like a keyboard under desk shelf. But I'll explain that later. Oof! I take care of myself. That's basically how I do it. And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Narahado performed his duty to the end. You could make money working at a restaurant. I am working at a restaurant.
Yes, I've already been appraised of events.
Prize?
I know. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. You get to be a lawyer. Don't waste it.
Oh!
No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer! My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land.
Really? Thank you very much. I get to go. Okay, so I'm a lawyer now.
Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem.
Another case? Already?
Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I?
It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it.
What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared.
There was... Yeah, but evidence was tampered with. Things did not go smoothly. It was nice seeing you, man. Sure, why not? Go with that.
What more were you hoping for?
An explanation? Why did Mr. McGilded do all that? Was everything really fabricated? Was the evidence genuine? Why were the witnesses lying? That the truth out of all that, as Narahado puts it, a resolve? Not a half-baked, finished-up court trial. And we're probably gonna go through everything.
The culpability of the defendant has not at present time been established by this court. Consequently, the juror...
Oh, my throat is racked.
The juror will not be required to proffer judgment.
Well, Lord Van Higgs, it's all been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense, even though you scandalized me face half the time. Hee Wahahaha! Yeah. And so, McGilded danced out the courtroom like the little leprechaun he is by playing a little flute and dancing. No, I made that last part up. I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGillicuddy really was innocent. Mr. Narahado. It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended.
Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer.
Sorry. What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
Magnus McGillicuddy
What? What the hell? Magnus McGillicuddy passed away.
Magnus McGillicuddy passed away immediately following the trial.
How? No! What? Mr. McGillicuddy is dead? How? And there's pigeons or seagulls. I can't tell what it is. He died. He died just like that. How? How did he die? Oh my god, that's some shit.
I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk.
You could at least explain, please. Alright, McGillicuddy's death. How did he die? Why? I don't understand what happened. How can he be dead?
After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom.
The very same. Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime, which Miss McGillicuddy had been accused of.
Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames.
No. How could such a thing have happened?
That is being investigated as we speak, but already. The police have identified a corpse found inside the charge shell of the carriage as that of McGillicuddy.
That's awful.
The man must have slipped inside while the bailiff's attention was elsewhere.
The bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened?
That is also being investigated as we speak.
Oh my god, frickin' McGillicuddy died the day after the trial, just like that? Yeah, he was rich. Yeah, he was a filthy little leprechaun that had some dirty thoughts to him. I didn't expect him to die right off the bat. Right off the bar, literally. Thinking back now. Immediately after the trial, Mr. McGillicuddy did mention going back to the courtroom to look at the omnibus. There was a cutscene that played. I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to be examining the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
An inspection of the omnibus. Not to my knowledge, I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage.
But then who was Miss McGillicuddy talking about?
Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police.
Poor Miss McGillicuddy. Really should have taken that 1,000, whatever it was, currency. British court! Oh my god, he freaking died the day after, like, ugh.
So how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court?
My parents kept telling me to wear a coat outside. How do I make them understand that I like the cold? Tell them that hypothermia doesn't concern you. No. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you could rip on that any longer. Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was, wow. Mr. Naruto means the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, Sasasana is such a way with words. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. And you seem to have a way of reading Naruhodo's mind.
The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can.
Oh my god. I'm one of the summer all-year kids. I wear shorts in the winter! I wear my shorts all year long. The most advanced in the world, is it? Oh man.
It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair.
Simple? That was simple?
As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose.
How? How could you... How you know I couldn't lose? I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but... the case was anything but simple. How would you know? The circumstances of the case were so incriminating. I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I still find it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. Is something funny?
No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent, wouldn't you agree?
Well, I don't know about that. That's not talent. The evidence was fabricated. Possibly by McGilded, who just died. Recently. Today. And you announced it. Nonchalantly. No, that cannot be talent.
Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much at least is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before.
What's going on? What was he going to say before? I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. But we'll never hear from McGilded again. He died a painful death. Thought he did. What is this area supposed to be? What do you mean this area? Like the game? Well, it is the Supreme Court in Britain. So we're just talking to Strongheart after finishing the case yesterday. So, like I mentioned before, we finished the trial, we got not guilty, which we were supposed to, but there's still a lot of questions looming. The person we defended died the next day. Died in a fire. In the very same crime scene that he was accused of being in. New case. Could you perhaps give us some more detail about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me. It's a murder, and the trial starts in 10 minutes.
Don't worry. It's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different.
Oh, I see. Did he just read my mind?
That is to say, no one has died. As yet.
What?
And the trial will not be today. There is plenty of time to research the case thoroughly.
Good! Maybe 2 or 3 days?
23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise.
Oh, crap. So it's actually 1 day. Wow. In the Phoenix Wright series, which this is sort of the Phoenix Wright series, but it's like a prequel to the entire series. At least Phoenix Wright got 2 or 3 days. 3 days max. But here you get 1 day! Ugh! Ha! So the trial's tomorrow then. Crap. Is everything alright? Oh, yes. I'm just a little confused. That's all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after McGilded's trial. Because it...
Ah, yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case.
Check Discord. Ah, darn. What is it? Is the area in here? Sort of, but... sort of. Maybe. I don't know if... That's like Big Ben. Westminster Abbey. Is that Westminster Abbey? I gotta double check. Westminster Abbey, London. Crap, no. Let me double check. Big Ben. Okay, where was Big Ben again? Palace of Westminster. Oh, okay. So, Palace of Westminster. That's the picture you're showing me. Okay, no. No. It does take place in Britain, but it's kind of different. Like, it takes place in sort of like 19th century Britain. So, this game takes place in Meiji era Japan, so Meiji era Japan. When was Meiji era? Let's see. Start date 1868, end date 1889. So yeah, it was definitely 19th century. So we're definitely in 19th century Britain. So yeah, that's basically when this took place. But of course, like, Capcom is going to make everything look more advanced than it already is. I don't know if there's actually a Supreme Court office that takes place inside the Palace of Westminster, inside Big Ben, with a library inside of a clock tower with all these cogs turning. I don't know. That's a thing.
Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense.
Oh.
If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome.
The most terrible end awaits the defendant. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, we were gonna defend McGilded because he was about to die anyways, but he died anyways. I've already seen this inside, and it looks like that nothing. Well, Capcom has a way of imagining things, so I don't know. Imagination.
Yes, that's right.
Ah, here we go again. We're about to defend somebody who will die if we don't defend him.
Your time is up. You will have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking.
Yeah, I know. You're kind of standing right in front of it with a bunch of cogs and everything.
It is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits.
Last time he mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time.
And one more thing, Mr. Naruhado. There is something I should like to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
Yesterday, you remarked upon something.
What is it?
That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds.
Oh, well, Kazumi always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world works so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing.
Another thing? Continue.
On the way here, on the sea ship, he said something to me. Something very important I have to do. Something very... I feel very sick right now. I know what you mean. I've been feeling it.
And something very important. And what exactly would that be?
He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to Great Britain.
You're out of time. Well, thank you for an enlightened discussion.
Mr. Naruhado, what's all this about? Mr. Sogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me.
I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand.
What the?
I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He'll be able to apprise you of the details.
How long has he been there? Who is that?
So, I wish you the best of luck, and bid you farewell. I slowly fade away.
There's something very important that I have to do, Kazuma-sama. What did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we had better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right. So this. Alright, detective. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. Aw, dang it. What the hell is he holding? So I can only examine. Oh, man. I could examine things, but I could talk to the detective. Now, who are you? Could we trouble you? Are you eating a bread? Are you eating... What? Did that thing just regenerate itself? Like, he just shook it and he regenerated itself. I'll be back.
What do you think?
Lovely weather, isn't it?
What's the weather got to do with anything? Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart! Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gent eaten out of your hand, you know?
I think you're eating out of your own hand, or is that a newspaper with what? What the hell are you eating? But Susato-san told me it was foolproof.
I'm a busy man! A very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to.
Oh god, the way he eats out of whatever they did. Oh, I'm ever so sorry.
Can you imagine what the other officers will be saying? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with big wigs these days. All because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of.
Yet you were able to name it.
Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard, going to tatters.
There's no need to rip us apart as well. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhado, a defense lawyer.
Eh?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhado's judicial assistant, Eh? It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it?
It is unseasonably fine, I grant you. Wonder why those don't see...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have here a British sexist. Unbelievable! How did she pull that off? Okay, I had to change my shirt. I'm back.
So, Old Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard.
Gregson. Oh, Inspector Gregson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Does this detective name mean something to her? Inspector Gregson, the case... Is he eating fish and chips out of a newspaper? Is that what Gregson is doing? Inspector, are you perhaps... the Inspector Gregson? He's eating fish and chips out of a newspaper. Is that the London thing to do? Aaron! Is that what they do in the UK? Eat fish and chips out of a newspaper? Yeah, you're acting like you know this man's Mr. Sato, but he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him. Very well, in fact. Very well. Yes, he features prominently in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, in the publication? What's it called again? Rance magazine? Where people do, yes. That's right! Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful, friendly rivalry. I don't think those two words should go together. And also, I gotta get my chicken in like 3 minutes. Also, I set my frickin' watch to a timer. So in case you don't know, and in case I can't get it, yeah, there's a timer on my watch, so I know when to get it. I have less than 3 minutes to go get it. Okay, friendly rivalry. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible! Oh, well, I don't know about that. Also, we have washing machines in the kitchen. That's fine. That's okay. We also have washing machines in over here in America as well. And by America, I mean Canada. We have that over here. I don't know, like... That we got over here. Maybe close to the kitchen. Or at least in the very well same room. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course. But he does come up with some goods from time to time. Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You earned his highest praise. Gregson is a pick of a bad lot of all Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words. That's his highest praise. Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see.
That he is not, and thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now.
That's great, isn't it?
I have to admit, that had to start with a little flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at Scotland Yard went through the roof.
Why does your country have canned cheese? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, dang it! I got less than a minute left. That squirrel just showed like this. Okay, I gotta go get my chicken out of the oven. So you know what? I'm gonna go get my chicken out of the oven. Burp! Brack! Also, you need doors for kitchens too. I don't need doors. You know, whatever. Be right back. Okay.
chicken. I brought my chicken. There, see? Alright, I'm gonna put this here, under that. Alright, give me a second, I'm gonna put that up here. Okay, so, I have it. Chicken. Okay, so, I really want to have a freaking bite of chicken. Oh god, it's so good. It's so hot. Chicken. I really want to just end the live stream and just eat this big bowl of chicken thighs. That's all I want to do. But I got a live stream. Alright, who did what? Are we still going? I feel like something crapped. Is something crap? No, something didn't crap. Okay. Oh, wait, crap. I gotta put it back on. There we go. In case you missed it, here is my chicken in a weird noodle-like bowl. Yes, I eat chicken out of a noodle bowl. Oh, wait. Save it. Oh, it's so good. I have a weirder way. So you're not dieting? I am dieting. This is my diet. Nothing but protein. So good. This is dieting. Dieting is where you have a selected nutrients in an effort to try and eat healthy. Well, that's wonderful. No, it is not. There's nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now, whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Rumors? Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in these stories. Why did chicken make me look pregnant? I don't know. What does chicken have to do with you looking pregnant? He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head. Stuff like that. Gosh, you really think people are saying so much mean-spirited things about you? Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying. But I know what folks are like. I will know. I eat fish and chips out of a newspaper as well. I'm sure that's what they're saying. I'm sure as eggs is eggs. Really? You eat eggs? I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Could be very hard work. Oh no! Oh dear. Perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people. Yes! It does! Fame changes people. How would I know? I've had friends who've become famous, and it changed them a lot. The case. So, about the case that Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. What? Oh dear. That probably means that as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish you were wrong about that. You know, I'm gonna have autoplay on. A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. No, fortunately, it wasn't fair. It's still laid up in the hospital, unconscious. That's despicable. What kind of coward would attack the poor woman from behind?
Wait, what? She was stabbed in the back? Also, I know you said this like 5 minutes ago, but it's 1900s don't got anything to do with what it looked like since the 1800s. Yeah, so. I said 19th century. 19th century is everything before the 1900s. I suppose you have finished whatever it was with Susato's takedown, wouldn't you? That is neither here nor there, Mr. Narahado. Brace yourself, Ryunosuke. You've angered her now.
Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest, despite the fact that the incident took place in the dead of night.
So, there must have been someone left at the scene that led you to directly to the culprit? Well, I'm an idiot. Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question.
Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one.
Sorry.
There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now.
Why ever not?
Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Baron Zix.
No.
Sounds like you've heard of him then.
Yeah. Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord Van Zix. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself. Really? Those who show up in the courtroom with him end up dead? Interestingly, McGilded ended up dead the very next day, despite being declared not guilty. Right. The Reaper of the Bailey. Reaper indeed. Lord Baron Von Jeeks, who we faced in court only yesterday. Just stop motion porn, sis. Yes. Yes, it does. Team America. World Police. Miss McGill told him about us before the trial, didn't he? When Van Zeke stands for the prosecution, they call the accused the sacrificial lamb. And in every single trial where she's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. It's Reaper of the Bailey nickname. I suppose he's earned it because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Is that it? No. Every defendant that he's advocated against ends up dead. Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector. Yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Narahado secured a verdict of not guilty. I'm pretty sure the inspector is gonna disagree because it's probably not the point they're arguing.
Ha! And what of it?
Oh, I think that means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant.
No, you really don't have a clue, do you?
What do you mean? People end up dead, regardless of guilty or not guilty.
What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead.
Ah.
Magnus McGildy came a crop on that omnibus when it went up in flames. So you can't rightly say you saved the defendant, can you?
What? What are you saying?
Look, if Van Zeeks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a meal cooker.
Gregson looks like a Hitler if he was fancy. Nah, that mustache is way too wide to be a Hitler.
But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic. He's a black wizard. I'd have a good... He's a black mage. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you.
Are we really supposed to believe that?
I want to have my chicken. I want to eat chicken.
chicken.
Alright, I filled you in as requested. I'm very nearly out of ships.
Really? That was fish and chips?
I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're carrying on a few investigations, though.
It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place?
That's correct, man. And if you head over the holding cell, just meet the criminal himself.
You brought him a criminal already?
He's as good as shaking like a leaf in the cell. He'll give you a chuckle if nothing else.
When was the last time you ate KFC? Maybe like a decade ago. Actually, no. 2 decades ago. Name someone else who can also say that. Name someone else who'll give you the same answer.
He's May 53. Speak to the jail and I'll show you the way.
May 53. Thank you. Okay. So now we gotta move. So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naruto? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. When was the last time you hit? My dad. Okay, fine. Maybe your dad is an exception. The idea of facing the Reaper in the court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage, too. But if the man they've arrested is innocent, you could well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in his cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. Not really sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I like to try, so I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I'm your judicial assistant! Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes! Let's go! Before you look like Mario. Dear God, you have the weird pose. You have the same pose as Mario. Oh God. Alright, Briar Road, prison. Should I just head straight to the Briar Road? Head straight to prison? Head straight to Briar Road.
Oh god, this shit's so good. Alright, where was I?
19 February, Briar Road. So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Ah! Look, Mr. Naruto. Is it weird to be 5'11" at the age of 13? No. 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 Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruto, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but I never dreamed I'd ever come this close to real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Of course. I have to try one on one day. Hi, Shiba Hub. Hi. I'm gonna say hi back. Hi. How is ye? How do ye? How are ye? Of course, after time. Well, I hope your hatty dream does come true. Hi, cross your arms and squat down slowly. No. No, I don't want to squat. Good, what about you? Good eating chicken while playing the Great Ace Attorney. Oh, this shit is so good. I always like halal. I'm legit eating chicken right now. Really? Okay. I'm eating chicken out of a noodle bowl. Yes, on stream. I love it. Wow. Hope your hattie dream comes true. I don't see Inspector Gregson anywhere. Fancy. Shall we see if we can sneak past and investigate the scene of the stabbing? Why should we sneak? I don't want to upset one of those bobbies and be butted on the head by one of those metal helmets. My skull will crack in two, I'm sure. Oh no, an English bobby would never do such a thing. This is the land of gentlemen, you know. Alright, let's take a look. They're everywhere. Can I say hi to him? Say hi to the one over there. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wandered too close, we'd be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done the thing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Strike 3. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure that's why that look of panic you're so prone to it. It does you no favors at all. Ugh! Okay. Can't look at you. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Yes, very wide open space, isn't it? That's true. Can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi! What are your fours doing here? Ah! Oh, are we, just investigating the scene, officer? Conspiring with a mustache fella from Japan, are ya? Conspiring? Come here to destroy the evidence, have ya? Get out of here before I give you an eye. Go on! You shoot us away like rats. Yes. Check Discord, Lamau. Oh god, what did you post this time? This looks like a PS5 from the future. Really? Somewhere in London? Sure, why not? We'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay? Yeah. I thought a PS5 looked a little bit different. Okay, give him a wide berth, I think. What is a smiting experience? We can't go near the crime scene. Snowman! Hehe, what a delightful snowman. I didn't realize English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy, though. Really? Oh, there's a scarf, look! You need one, Allie? Here if you're in the freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. Surely someone here wouldn't miss his. But the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know. You're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. Alright. Now what? Oh! That's Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush crime scenes and cut away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. If you play Among Us, your views will go from 1 to 200. Oh my god. Maybe. But it doesn't mean I should. Oh god. I could, but I would rather get views off the stuff that I enjoy doing. Not catering to other audiences like Fortnite players. Oh, it's so good. Want to try one of those? Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows. Then, without me being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. Why? No, I wasn't serious. Talk with friends of Discord. Your reviews. Fine. Is there nothing I can examine? Can't examine the buildings, can't examine the crime scene, can't look at anything else, can't do anything else. But I can look at this way. Huh. Why is there a bent bicycle over here? Oh, a British bicycle, look. Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure I couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you ever try walking on stilts, following a river, I know you'd agree with me. Well, I'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. Really? Okay, Strand Street. This is rather a typical brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it's long and interesting history. Well, time certainly has taken a toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. We must find some cheap lodging ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally within reasonable level floors. Okay. Is there anything else I can look at here? Oh! Look at the windows of the building over there. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. Okay, is there any place... Oh! There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. It seems carriages often travel down Brad Road. It soon disperses all of the snow. Why does the background remind me of 101 Dalmatians? Because that's the setting where the movie took place. In London. Was it 19th century London? Or is it still early 20th century London? Maybe early 20th century. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruto, and dressed all in black. I worry a coachman might not see you, and you could be flattened by horses. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. Oh, hey. Is there anything else I can look at? No, I can't look at anything. I can't touch anything. Go near anything. Can't talk to anyone. Okay, so... I gotta go to the prison. Because it's the only other thing I can do. I think February. Local prison. Cell 9. There we go. 2 down, 4 to go. Oh god, it's so good. I love chicken. Especially halal chicken. So these are the British prison cells. Oh, the ghastly. Makes me... It just feels like a dungeon. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't miss that. Oh, it seems worse. Apparently our client is in the cell here, but it's so dark the back of there I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Basically, drinking Dr. Pepper and my dad don't know.
Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding in the back of the cell and show your face at once.
Am I a cat? As yet with no name? Calling me by number? It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonably. I refuse to answer. Mr. Nanahado, what? What do you think is going on here? I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? The tirade of complaints was in Japanese. What the? What the? Who the? Oh, excuse me. Shh, quiet. So he's also Japanese? Oh my god, what? They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening. Even now, I can sense it. Who? Is he really right in the head? Right. So, could I ask you who... There you are! You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it! You're a ghost! A ghost? He's looking over his shoulder all the time. What the hell? Who the hell? We mean you no harm, prisoner-son, are you? Japanese, by any chance? So basically, in Mumbles, there's a boat called... Oh, right. This is... Beyond my wildest dreams! What is beyond your wildest dreams? Forgive me for that, I've said this before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damn dark hellhole was a most monumental moving moment! Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? Ah! What compassionate my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lord all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nippon! And I also went to that boat today just because why not? Ah, a first-class lawyer. Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. What are you so kind as to tell us what happened? Why have you been detained as a suspect, for example? Yes, I can, I will. Sean, stay silent and silent! Not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I am a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhado. I'm Naruhado-san's judicial assistant, Sato Mikotoba. I am a visiting student sent here by the government. Notably, notoriously named Natsume Soseki Natsume. Soseki Natsume. Soseki. Soseki Natsume. Son? What an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. Something of a nom de plume. Nom de plume? You mean an alias? That's right, Naruhado-san. No! Don't be so prosaic. It's much more fun than that. haiku? That really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent here over here by the government? Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First I had to suffer that misery, and now this is beyond the pale! Suffer that misery? You do not want to study here?
No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course.
Oh.
But just because the government tells you to do something, does it mean you can do it? No.
What do you mean?
If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understand. That's my field. Well, no. They told me to study the English language. Utterly unbelievable, unjustly unreasonable.
What? I see.
I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tended a blank piece of paper. Wise words on white washi.
You must be a man of great standing.
Oh yes. So I'm often told.
I often like to be told, it seems. Okay, the accusation against you. Why are you in here? That's a real question. Can you perhaps tell us exactly why you're being arrested, Soseki-san?
I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder.
Murder?
Oh, no, it's all right. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes.
Check the Discord group. Okay, fine. Give me a second. I'm looking. Okay, not this group. Definitely worse. Really? There's actually a boat labeled that. There is actually a boat labeled that. Yeah, someone had to name their boat like that. Alright, fine. You mean you saw the attacker?
I didn't see anyone.
What?
If I seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here?
Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's a curse, the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient.
So Sasaki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. It's vital that we find out more about this case. Uh-huh. Okay.
Oh, I love chicken. Is it because of every evening, just after the snow had started clearing heavy with fog? I've been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on the way back to the cursed lodgings.
In the bookshop, was it a curse to you?
As I was walking along the cursed pavement, and I got the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was.
Hi! 333 revision. Hi! How are you? How is you?
I just went over chicken. What? Suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed on the cold. Slaps a stone at my feet.
What game is this? It's called The Great Ace Attorney. It's a game that takes place in sort of like late 19th century London and Japan. So we're kind of in London right at the moment. The game is loosely a spin-off of the Phoenix Wright series where you play as a lawyer to defend clients. But this game is more of a prequel to the entire series itself, given that it takes place in the late 19th century, where the main game takes place in, like, early 21st century. And I'm eating my chicken out of a noodle bowl. while playing a lawyer game.
How terrible. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard.
Slight exaggeration there, perhaps.
I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodging.
That's not good.
No, let's say it was shameful. I know, to run away like that.
Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English? And young women at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people.
I see. A young woman, unknown to Soseki-san. At the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you?
Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul.
No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? What conundrum? What do you mean, Susato-san? What's a conundrum?
Well,
If what Soseki-san has just told us to be true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim, and that there's no one else at the scene. And he apparently fled without having been seen.
I did.
But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. Surely this man has to be the culprit? Arr! You! If you get 1 million off of doing this, you have to mention me. You're already mentioned.
What did you just say?
Nothing? I didn't say anything.
Oops.
Perhaps I thought of that a little too loudly. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. But what I think about was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Sorry? He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh yes, she's right.
It was him. That accursed great detective. He left the police to me. Of all the bad luck. Accursed great detective.
Could it be?
I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his hearty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed, busybody, begone! May you be cursed until the end of your days. Herlock Shums.
Oh god. We're dealing with him again. Why does it look like he's stroking? Oh god. I don't know. I knew it.
Mr. Shums. Oops.
Electron. I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lip. That's for sure. There we go.
It was the morning after the nightmare I had from falling the pavement before me. I was gnawing on the silver hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me, "This is the police! Put the weapon down!" So it was a thin silver, and yes, it was hard. But I wasn't eating a weapon. Discussing dietary discrimination, devils!
You clearly had a trying morning yesterday.
And there he was, in the middle of the hall of policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Herlock Sholmes!
It's actually Herlock Sholmes. He's English.
I've since found out that he's a famous detective
famous name in detection here in London. In detection. Yes, the great detective is really very well known. Uh-huh. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman! Me, this weak, stupid kitten of a man! What a great deduction. I wonder what great deduction process led him to this conclusion this time. You mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That'd be really most unreasonable. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. Terrified and trembling, then they kept throwing question after question in impossible English. Fiendish, born, flimmery! Well, we are in England. Can't really blame them for questioning you in English. How many times have you drunk water, pissed, and drunk it again? Like, are we talking about, like filtered water, drink that, and then urinate that, and then drink more filtered water? Are you talking about, like, the very same piss you piss out, and then drink that piss? I go for the first. I'd rather just drink filtered water. But to answer your question in the filtered water, context, many times. Good point. But my mind went blank. If I knew the answer, I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. The next thing I knew, I was in medicals, and before that I knew it, I was thrown in here. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine. He's not fine now. My God. Mr. Naruto, Esquire! Oh? You can just call me Naruto. And when we're speaking English, a simple Mr. is more than enough. Oh, yes. Alright. Yes, they've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour. Ah, a student? I've defended a case in the Old Bailey, only the one though. But this is a moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in the country even means. Tap water, that's why I believe it. Tap water tastes like shit. Depends on where the tap water is. Oh, not 100%. Not even if for students are supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose. But that Hartman, that's among the defense lawyer from a great empire! It's a keepsake for the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. Ah, a keepsake. I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, what do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me. Goodness, why? Why do you say that? For the same reason you noted before. When it happened, there was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. Must be very hard for you, so Seki-sen. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them, someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before. Well, I have drunk toilet water. Does that count? Why? If you recently used the toilet, it would count. In my earshot without any punctuation at all. Any trial for the man would be a waste of time, they said. And of course, the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyways. That's awful.
They're wrong! I've studied more English than half the policemen out there on the streets! I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. Anyone here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent, they all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it. Could you? When I look in your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. I think he said it's just that. Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh, yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you. Look, I'm soon, Mr. Naruto, Esquire. We should be going then, Naruto-san. We have a case to prepare for. Okay. Now, nothing else we can talk about. We've already looked at everything. We go back to Briar Road. Has anything changed since we last been there? There's the inspector. There's Gregson. My friend offered 80 pounds. I could not resist. To drink a shitty toilet? What's a Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't on the tourist trail. I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. Oh, you've been to the holding cells then. What'd you make of the criminal? You're back. I go on my phone. Okay. He's not a criminal as you put in, Inspector. He's a suspect. Well, say about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in the court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict a foregone conclusion. The stone cold air of rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. That makes it worse somehow. We want permission to investigate. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about any adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the police. The Yard is the most sophisticated police organization. Police and organization you'll find anywhere in the world, man. Oh, you know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bubby's helmet. Make it look the part, seeing that place. With his helmet on. Certainly do get the sense this is a man who will take no nonsense on the duty of protecting the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you. Oh, really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on the beach so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Yep, raps on the windows with a long pole. Did he himself? Going back a bit. I had no idea. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. Hello, on my phone because I can. Okay. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things a steep step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Oh my. I suppose in between all the duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well.
and chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside. But yes, they're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have old men keeling over from time to time, I admit.
Oh crap. I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Nahado. Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Oh god. About the case. Blech. Alright, give me a second. I'm eating chicken. Chicken. So good. I'm so glad I went to listen to Kill 'Em All album. Why?
It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there, that opening bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind.
Is that right? The lady is still unconscious now. You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital.
I never said she was the lady.
What?
Truth is, unless she comes to regular Smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all.
As well as that means they'll be able to take a statement from her. Haven't been able to take a statement from her. It's a good album.
There's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want.
Really? You sure?
It's your policy to give lawyers to any suspect. Y'all had a bit of information to go on.
I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Local map has been entered into the court record.
Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else at the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So, who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it?
Well, I know Mr. Natsume has also claimed to have not seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean that we can be sure nobody else was present.
I'm sorry to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am,
Do you like fog?
precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed.
What?
We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them.
There were witnesses now? Yeah. As for fog, I'm not entirely sure. I have to go over that again. Yeah. There are witnesses now? Really? Who are the witnesses, Inspector?
A fellow and his wife. A man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard.
Copper. A policeman? That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that man. Part and parcel of being a whole bummy. Catching them banging the act and all that.
All that Blair Funk is the best funk artist.
Okay.
Do you think it might be possible for us to ask the policeman a few questions?
Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. I know there would be someone as a witness. So they'll give you something to look forward to.
That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I couldn't have warned me of that too. Oh, yes, one more thing, Inspector.
What?
The person who led you to the suspect. I hear there's Mr. Herlock Shrooms.
What are you bringing him up for?
Was there something I said? The color is drained from his cheeks. I don't think he likes shrooms. God dang it. Ugh. Oops, wrong one. Wrong button. Uh-oh. Ah, crap, I did. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was a result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Fiddle faddle! Ah. The man's an amateur. And I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere! Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of a crime. Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish. And before you know it, he claims to have solved the case! Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He's a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gibble gobble! Ever seen this before? Oh, yes. That's Rance Magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of Yard's detectives and his stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of us all! If anyone asks us the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Sholmes tale at all. Well, I suppose there's an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be thrown by the public thanks to an obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at the Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly, the great detective and police have a complex relationship. There we go. Chicken. I was at the shop, and there were fireworks every corner. Really? Okay. Alright, tomorrow's trial.
That Twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not?
Well,
Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole.
because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean?
There's no way to say the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It's all a bit strange, though.
Sorry?
The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
The only people he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals, the violent ones.
Master criminals? The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for the sins.
But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely?
That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say that the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth in, for want of a better phrase. Or for want of better fish and chips.
Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can tell what's going on inside that head of the Lord of Darkness? Might as well call that man Voldemort, for all I know. You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
We're really gonna have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it? Is it? Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. But... Mr. Naruto, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, do you mean the Reaper? Mr. Sholmes? Oh. Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, exactly! Look at those shining eyes. You can't... Wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he? Yes, he did! He really did! Which makes him an involved party in this case. Are you just gonna ignore that? I hope not. Are you sure you... Ah, crap. I actually have to... I gotta get going right now. It's like almost 10 o'clock, so I gotta get up early. I gotta get up early. For work and an appointment. Are you sure it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again? The trouble is, you have no idea of the man's address even. So how? It's Baker Street! How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 22221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. Better try and find a way there before Susato-san gets you more excited and unpredictable. Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage! So we're having a reunion already. With the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, great. Alright, that's it. I gotta stop right here. I gotta get ready for work, and I got an appointment I gotta do early in the morning before work. So, I will come back tomorrow, and possibly do a Minecraft live stream, or continue doing this. Alright, so thank you all for watching, and I will continue the live stream tomorrow. Alright?